When it comes to a professional, how you get grappling to be super entertainment. The amateur, you see entertainment, but not yet for TV. The professional will have to find the rules. The commentators need to have tools to talk and to commentating and to think the show gets super excited for people to watch. That's the dilemma Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu struggle a little bit to find the.
Welcome back to the BJJ Fanatics podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Ford. My guest today is a coral belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In his competitive career, he amassed over 365 wins and had an undefeated streak for 13 years. He's also a three-time Pan Am's champion and an ADCC bronze medalist. After coming to the U.S. in the 90s, he found himself coaching several celebrities in Beverly Hills, California. This led him to becoming a highly respected consultant for fight scene choreography, as well as stunt trainer for films like John Wick and several others. He's also played several film and TV roles himself and continues to teach a large celebrity client base that includes Ashton Kutcher, Keanu Reeves, Vin Diesel, Usher, and Wiz Khalifa, just to name a few. He teaches all of his students out of his own academy called The Academy in Beverly Hills, California. He's also one of the founders of Jiu-Jitsu World League, one of the largest tournament organizations in the U.S. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be joined today for the second time by Master Rigan Machado. How are you today, Rigan?
I'm doing very good, my friend.
It's very good to see you again. Rigan, you were actually my 8th episode that I ever did on the podcast. This was about 9 years ago. So it's great to have you back almost 620 episodes later. Good to see you again. How is everything? What have you been up to in the last 8 years?
Right now, I'm building a few business. One of the business I'm building, I start directing. I'm going to direct in July my first movie. Besides directing, I'm building a new world organization, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's getting ready to come out soon. And I get ready to open 10 new schools. And based these new schools, right now with my partners, we're going to look for locations. But we're going to start with 10. After this, we want to open another 50 schools. And little by little create license and franchise.
So let me ask you, we were talking, I said in your intro that you're one of the founders of Jiu-Jitsu World Pro League. And you mentioned that you have a new tournament you're starting. Is this going to be something just by yourself or what?
Yeah, no, I have investors now. It's going to be, but basically it's 4 events, 4 different events. And basically when the amateur establish, like same like a BJJF, same like Jiu-Jitsu League, we're gonna build first the foundation, the amateur organization, and from there we wanna build the world circuit competition. The world circuit competition is gonna be 8 countries. That's professional. Almost like I wanna create the way to build the fighters on the amateur through rank. And later get an invitation to be a part of the world circuit professional. It's almost like we try to bring the media, pay-per-view, a contract with different countries, networks, and try get like a competition to the same group of fighters have to fight 8 times during the year. And this prize money, they get money, get the title, and become the professional world champion on the sport. And basically, we wanna. That's my goal. But first, before that, I want to build 20 countries, close to 180 events, and build the structure to create the new world organization amateur.
Rigan, you were obviously a really highly decorated competitor yourself for many years, and you've remained very passionate about the sport of jiu-jitsu, obviously. You run tournaments now, and you're building this new tournament. It sounds very exciting. In your opinion, as a former competitor and a competition promoter, what are some things you feel could be done better by promotions and events in the world of jiu-jitsu?
I think the key, that's the issue for me. That's the issue. I think the issue is to find the right rules to the professional part. Because when it comes to a professional, how you get grappling to be super entertaining, you know what I mean? Because the amateur, you see entertainment, but not yet for TV. I think the professional will have to find the rules, because the commentators need to have tools to talk and to commentating and to think the show gets super excited for people to watch. And that's the dilemma. I think many different organizations going to struggle to find the right answer. You know what I mean? You see, like in sport, UFC, why I believe UFC is so success, because you see strikes, you see takedowns, you see submission, you see the whole thing, you see action the whole time. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's the answer. I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu struggle a little bit to find the a very good entertainment rules for professional.
I think that was a very fair statement. Yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned the commentary side of things. I actually just commentated the Brazilian National Championships. It's the first time in a while that I've done any commentary. And one thing that I was struggling with a little bit was finding things to say in moments of non-activity. So there's a guy, say, stalled out in the guard. He's trying to pass. He's kind of taking his time. Guy on bottom's trying to just break posture. There comes times where there's, minutes go by where there's just not really much that I can say once I've talked about the athletes and where they came from and what they're trying to do currently. And I like that you emphasize that creating a rule set or creating an event where there's much more action to keep things moving along is obviously very important. What are some things that you hope to implement in your new organization that will encourage that?
I do a mix. I want to mix it up a little bit, almost like I put in 4 events. These 4 events is a mix between gis, no gis. If you have different rules to each one, and in base, like I create the ultimate champion. The ultimate champion is the one who goes straight to be professional in case he become a champion in all 4 championships. And base, like these for me, I wanna just try out to see. I believe it's gonna be entertaining, because I think the when you come a pro, I wanna do a gi and no gi mix, which never done before. And base, like you see guys only fight with no gi, but you put a gi on them, it's going to be a different ball game. It's basically, I think, like example, in the mix of jiu-jitsu, have a lot of example. I have gi, have no gi, have all these good events. Example, the BJJF is the biggest in the world with gis, gi competition. They have competitions like everywhere. They promote the gi a lot. But the gi is not, people forgetting, they're not pushing to be professional. Um, but the no gi come bigger, and more excitement for professional. And I want to see I can mix it up both. I'm gonna do. That's what I tried to do. I tried like, hey, you want to be the ultimate champion, to be on the professional in jiu-jitsu. Let's compete both. Let's see. Work out. It's a tryout, and I'm gonna try it for the first year, maybe the second year. Yeah, I think it's gonna be entertaining, because give you option for the guys try score points on the gi competition, and some of the other guys try to score points in the no-gi competition, and that's gonna be it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be something different. I want to try. You know what I mean? Like same like sometimes you see grappling people at the slap. You know what I mean? You see, I was talking. I think it was Dana White talking about the how big is getting the slap contest. And I think this lap contest, I never imagined this to be big, like bare knuckle boxing. And that's for me another thing I never imagined be that big. I think you have to try out the people who gonna say is good or not is the people who gonna watch and the sponsors and the money. Because I think uh, is a lot of opportunities to grow both. And I think my goal is to create a professional. The reason I want to do professional because I think that's the way you get more money for the competitors possible. Because uh, same like any sport, like you have football, have soccer, you have volleyball, have Brazil. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not there yet. I think you create the opportunity to athletes become professional. I'm a professional Jiu-Jitsu player. Is opportunity for them to have a better income, to get big sponsors, to have chance to make money on the sport. Same like UFC on the beginning. I think UFC give helps so many people. Like now is the money is in a different level. Is I think why not to try to do something like that for the sport jiu-jitsu? I think still a window in opportunity to get that I see this new organization. I think Greg Jones putting some events that they're gonna pay so much money for the competitors. I love that because that's what's about. It's time to the the fighters of jiu-jitsu have a chance to make money on for them on the sport. Like you lose a lot of great competitors in jiu-jitsu for the MMA because they come to a point I want to make money, and they start crossover. You know what I mean? Which is okay. I think is great, but I think you focus to invest on the sport and give money back for the competitors. I think that's the way to go. I think that's the future. Yeah, I think that's why I've been thinking about to create something which I'm very passionate about. Is the I grew up competing for gi, and I love the no gi. I love wrestling always. It basically like I wanna see I can fight for both to grow, and that's what I try to do.
That's outstanding. Yeah, we are certainly in really exciting times with all the opportunities that are being presented to jiu-jitsu athletes now. Craig Jones
Yeah,
Invitational being the most recent.
awesome. I love
Yeah,
it.
me too. It's so exciting. But
Yeah.
there's something you said there. It really is the main hurdle that I feel that has always existed for growing jiu-jitsu as a spectator sport, and that is getting people that don't train jiu-jitsu and maybe just are MMA fans to come watch. And there's been a lot of great growth in the sport of jiu-jitsu. I think that's mostly due to the sport, to the art itself growing. I think more people are practicing jiu-jitsu now than ever. And I think that's caused us to acquire more people watching when there are big events. Now, with that said, if it's mostly jiu-jitsu practitioners that are tuning in and watching on Flow Grappling or on UFC Fight Pass and things like that, half of those people at least train in the gi. And it definitely seems like the no-gi side of jiu-jitsu professionally is really taking off. I love that you said that you don't want to leave the gi side behind. What do you think the gi side needs to do to become more appealing to people that don't do jiu-jitsu?
More entertainment, né? I think you bring the Hollywood effect to the jiu-jitsu competition. It's going to be fun. Celebrities get more entertainment, music, things like what UFC do. I think that's what's missing. I think uh, only going to be good for the sport. We need to realize the sport's still young and we still have a lot of opportunity to grow. Which Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the fastest growing martial arts in the world. And I think now it's time to come out with something unique to help the sport to go to the next level. I think more ideas, more events, more people want to get behind to push the sport to the next level. I think it's going to be awesome.
So it sounds like you're going to put a lot of production value into the gi side. I think that's a great place to start.
Bring the
sure.
Hollywood.
Bring Hollywood, man. That's excellent. And you're the guy. You're the right guy for that. You're truly the Hollywood instructor. Yeah, speaking of which, I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit. I wanted to explore something you talked about publicly pretty recently. You found yourself in a really interesting position as an instructor while teaching celebrities who need to remain camera ready. Meaning they have to avoid black eyes. They can't have gi burn and cauliflower ear for their roles that they're playing. You've created a really cool program for these students that emphasizes a focus on technical training rather than live sparring. And I think this is a really interesting topic because there's a lot of people who, due to injuries or age or other physical limitations, can't spar, but they still want to really practice the art. So if you don't mind, can you explain what the curriculum in this program that you've created for your celebrity student looks like?
It's not creating. I have an issue. I'm not going to say the name of the celebrity, but I have this actor who came to my school to train. And basically, when he came to the academy, I got a visit from an insurance company because he was at the time doing a big TV show for, I think it was Universal Studios. And basically, they worry because they don't want the actor get hurt because he's filming every week, the season. And I said, let me figure out how to do that. Basically, I did a lot of breakdown. Breakdowns like pieces, like parts. And I said, okay, you're just gonna train this part. We're gonna train just sparring, like doing passing for for a while. And when you do a full sparring, I want a super high level who can go very technical with you to protect you. And basically, like I try get the chance the actors to get hurt minimize the best. And basically, I start when the actor want to spar, when he want to do whatever he want, is up to the actor. But my job came to protect the actor and the actress the best in my power, in my knowledge. And based by doing that for a while, a lot of actors send another actor. And basically, I start getting invitation to be advisor for fight scenes and films and become a stunt coordinator. And little by little, you get a chance to understand the position. You need to protect these guys for film or television. And it's a complete different world. It's not like my number one. I tell for everybody the only way you're gonna really get to a high level in jiu-jitsu, you full spar, and get like a great partners to spar with you to push you to the next level. But in my position is different because I have to create a program for these celebrities to with a chance minimize like the max for them to not get hurt and basically create ideas for protect them into training to see the best I can do in my knowledge to get them good in jiu-jitsu. But when some celebrity is good enough, I give them the green light because they learn how to spar to any level, any person, any size. And that is my dream to get any of my students to get. When they have the green light, they do whatever you want. I said, you want to spar, go ahead. You're good enough, you know how to handle. And but the majority, almost like 80% of the clients I have to be very careful.
So you're basically just really carefully guiding these people into the introduction. And then once they get to a sufficient level, they just start training like anybody else.
Yeah, it's like when they good, like example, guys like Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher another day brought Greg Jones to spar for him, Paulo Costa. He loved it. He loved to get beat up by these guys because it's the sense of reality, you know, to have a taste what the real high level guys, what it is. But at the same time, I have to keep my eye for don't let them to get hurt.
That's great. Well, and see, that's exactly what I was thinking about. I was thinking about people who are hurt. I was thinking, man, this sounds like a really interesting way that people who are injured and still want to train actively can do so safely and do so without re-triggering an injury.
Yeah.
For someone that's going through, say, let's say using the same ideology towards an injured student rather than someone that's a celebrity, are there any methods that you use to try to simulate resistance or like the unpredictability of an opponent with people that can't roll?
I think you never stop learning. I remember my mentor, one of my favorite mentors I have growing up was a guy named Horace Gracie, who passed away in his 30s. Horace Gracie used to tell something I never forgot as a kid. He come to me, here, come to train. I said, "Oh, I hurt my leg." "Oh, you hurt your leg? Come use your arms." "Okay, oh, I hurt my arms and my leg." "Oh, you come sit down and watch and learn." It's up to you to keep learning, keep moving forward, keep the consistency. I think the consistent is the key for any people to get good in the sport, because you do consistency and it's no skills. You keep coming, keep improving, and you're gonna be good. You're gonna get to the level you're looking for. You know what I mean? But I think the consistency for me is the key.
Hegan, are you a fan of using games in the training room? Like, do you guys have like specific, like any like specific training that you do, or any kind of goal oriented games that you like to play with your students to help develop their skills?
Oh yeah, right now I develop a program is coming out soon. This program is so cool. I think it's very unique. I developed like 150 drills and techniques mix. In base, like I create the levels, like I create level one, level two, level three, like beginner, intermediate, advanced. And in base, the it's a challenge. You have to do all these drills to get to the next drill. You're not gonna get the next drill in case you don't accomplish your first drills. In basic, you have to send to online to the. I have 20 black belts to judge you your drills. In base, they said, yeah, he can get the next drill. Now I send you all these techniques and stuff. You have to do in one take. The last one I call the hell, the most impossible one to accomplish 150 degrees one take. You stop for any reason, is you're not gonna get to the next level. You know what I mean? But the 100, it's 150 degrees. Like what happened? The reason you create a cardio challenge, you create mobility challenge, flexibility challenge, you create like technical challenge, and this is something super cool because yeah, I start try out with my students, and the result was fantastic. One of the guys I try out was Ashenkuchi. Ashenkuchi come to a point to do like 30 techniques, no stop. For me, I love because jiu-jitsu is about movements, about mobility, about like going to A to B to C, and you have something to something to give for them to do that. It's fantastic, but it's coming out soon. I developed this drill, took me like 3 or 4 years to put together, but it's coming out. It's gonna come out soon. The Higan Challenge.
That is awesome. I love it. How long does it take to
I want to
complete?
put you on the
Oh,
challenge.
I'm on. Oh, I'm good. Send it my way. I'm in. I'm in 100%. I'm gonna take on the hell chapter first. I'm gonna try that first.
The 150 is for you see the 150 challenge is gonna take at least an hour 20 minutes to finish. Imagine that you're doing drills, no stop for 1 hour 20. But that's cardio wise is almost like bring CrossFit, some cool stuff. It's gonna be amazing. I think it's something I'm very excited to do. It's something fun, something different.
That is really awesome. That is so cool. He can, in general, what do you feel are some of the big indicators that you look for in a student that's progressing in jujitsu? Like, what are some particular things that you look for before giving someone their next rank?
Now, students for me is each. It's kind of funny, but the students I have is actually was Carlos Gracie, the founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, who taught me that. that was fantastic. Was one thing I always going to remember from Carlos Grace. I remember Carlos Grace, he said, you look at your students and what he look like to you, what kind, the way he move, what kind of animal he look like. And I start thinking like, I don't know, he look like a bear because he's big and strong. Teaching him how to fight like a bear, because that's what the coach is about. You have to discover who your student, what's his DNA, what's his abilities, what he's good, he's aggressive, and you put all this in the balance and specific work in his strength to get good in jiu-jitsu. Don't try make a little lightweight to fight like a bear or a bear fight like a lightweight. You have to understand to find the tools to give to each student you have to get them to the next level, to get them really good. Because the true in competition is very funny. In competition, you don't see the top guys in the world doing more than 3 or 4 techniques. Sometimes they do something by luck, but 90% of the times they do the same techniques in every fight. In base, that's what's about, is to find that niche technique, that trademark the student and the competitor able to do better than the others. And that's what our is kind of interest to when you work with the students to give the tools to build the game, and after this find what you do better than anybody else. And that's my challenge to when they find a student.
So obviously, I agree with you completely about how when you watch the highest level guys, they typically have a very fine, they have a very specific set of moves and techniques and positions that
Yeah.
they use, and they just use it at the highest levels. Once those people become teachers, what do you encourage people to do that want to open their own schools?
The teaching is the key. Is love your students, man. Enjoy the process. Come, I when I travel doing seminar, I see some instructors so passionate. It's like almost like the academic extension from people home. Example, people don't want to leave the academy because they feel the academy become a part of his life, and to try to see that, that's what's about. You know what I mean? To be a athlete is the extra part. Oh, I want to be a champion. I want to put more time on the mat. I want to put more effort. That's the extra part. But to the guy to build that kind, to build this community, which is jiu-jitsu, brings so much positivity to people's life. That's what's about, man. That's what I love to travel. It's the most funny thing. I travel, gave over 900 seminars, over 100 countries. Every academy I go, doesn't matter where in the world, I feel like home because it's the same feeling. You're going to one academy to another academy, is you feel like home because you have something common with that group and the passion for the sport, and to the people enjoy the to be around each other and train and create the kind of brotherhood friendship is what I love.
For students out there that are learning, like you said, a lot of people will have their very specific game that they play, but some students have the goal of opening a school and being able to teach bears that style of jujitsu and the fast guys, the fast style. Do you feel that can change the way that they have to approach their learning? Do you feel that if someone chooses to be a
I,
teacher someday?
I think I think jiu-jitsu have no rules. I think people always come out with a different view for teaching. And I think the moment you create the environment to guide people to get better on the jiu-jitsu is what's about. I think the process to become a good instructor come from time, experience. Like same like when you become a good competitor, a good coach, a good teacher, is time. Time is gonna you love what you do, you enjoy the process.
Higan, I wanted to ask you about choreography a little bit. Obviously, you worked on the John Wick series, and you've been an advisor to several different fight choreography teams. What are some big things that you've tried to bring to the choreography teams?
The movie business is 180 different challenge. The world, like in the beginning, I helped a little bit in my knowledge as a grappler. The director in the stunt team asked some questions, show some things. I trained Keanu a little bit, but the bottom line, this world is so big for people to understand. Like this, to do a choreography is almost like you understand what the camera like, to understand how to film, how to do the editing, how to put the sound, how to get stunt, to find the right stunt guys to do the fight scene. Is so important. Stunt guys for me is like actors in film. You get a bad actor, the movie is gonna be sucks. You're gonna say, man, this guy can't act. But you get a good actor like Rob De Niro, Pacino, oh, believable. The same thing on the stunts. You get a good stunt, you punch him, he flip in the air 2 times before he fall, and he sell the punch so good. Doesn't matter who punching him, the punch is gonna look like amazing. Eh, this is so unique because stunts have categories. Like you have the doubles, you have the stunt guys for the to learn how to react. You have to teach the actors to learn how to do the dance, like how to punch, how to position, how to do the right steps, and you guide them in some martial arts skills. And from there, you have the double guys. When they have something there, you have to switch the actor for the double and film in a way you don't see the face. And is a complete different world. And to have opportunity to spend some time, some of the best guys in this business, in learning these things and little by little. I'm still a baby. I still have to go through the process to start doing films, to understand, to get growth from there. It's almost like right now I want to get my white belt or maybe my blue belt, my first stripe in my white belt. But I direct in July. I have my first film I'm directing, and I'm gonna have some phenomenal guys to help to put the action together. And small film is like I focus to help to do films about bullies. Kids get abused in school, and like Karate Kid type, and and to teach these kids to train martial arts to come back and defend themselves, something cool like that, like the underdog fighting the bad guys and stuff like that. It's gonna be something cheesy, funny, and a lot of action.
That's so cool, man. Higan, it's so cool seeing you combine all these things that you're passionate about between filmmaking and jujitsu. I'm looking forward to see the progress of the results of your work. Higan, we've reached about the halfway point of the show here. This is where I always play a game with my guests. This is a game called the Pummel. The Pummel is a series of random questions. Some of these are about jujitsu. Some of them have nothing to do with jujitsu. But if you're down to play the Pummel, I'd love to play this game with you.
You go for it.
All right, man. Question one: what's the largest animal that you think you could beat in a fight?
I believe a dog.
A dog. Okay, cool. Now, what
Dog.
kind of what kind of dog? A little dog, big dog? What kind of dog
A
do you think
German Shepherd. I can take a German
you
Shepherd,
can take a
but I
German
don't
Shepherd?
know about Mastiff. You start get maybe a Pit Bull is going to be tough, but I think a German Shepherd. I can beat a German Shepherd.
If you faced off with a German Shepherd, I'd bet on you for sure. I
I'm not
believe
gonna back up. I
I
said,
believe in
man,
you.
come on, let's fight.
Higan, if you found a genie lamp and you could get 3 wishes, normal genie rules apply: no killing people and no wishing for more wishes. What would your 3 wishes be?
Want to have 20 kids, a beautiful wife, and live in an island in Brazil.
Oh man, that'd be the life. You'd have it made. That's excellent. I love it. What is a secret talent that you have that people might not know about?
I'm very good in network. I discover, I don't know why, but I get to environment pretty soon. I come friend from everybody. Everybody, I don't know how, it's crazy, but you put me in environment and up, I have like 20 friends and everybody love me to come to. I think I created this ability early age. Start at the academy, start in school, I'm very good in network.
I could definitely see that. I actually had you and I had lunch together a long time ago in Atlanta, and by the time we were done, you were chatting with the waitress, the other table next to us. I totally remember. Yeah, you're definitely a natural networker. I remember that distinctly. What do you think is the worst job that you ever had in your life?
I think the worst job I ever had in my life was delivery. I remember right in the beginning, I have to deliver uh, some something. Deliver like I got this opportunity to work to deliver almost like a FedEx or something like that, and I was the worst job I ever had to park and to deliver. Always arrive late. I said, man, I don't think that's good for you know what I mean. I get super stressed and it's not my job. I quit in the after 4 days. I didn't want to do anymore.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely a tough one for sure. What do you think is your favorite bad food to eat?
Bad food. I love sweet, like a Brazilian dessert. Have something called brigadeiro. I
Yeah,
think is my weakness. I see a brigadeiro, I say I need to have one. Is but I think because you growing up in Brazil, and you see a brigadeiro, there's a chocolate dessert, and I love it. Uh,
yeah.
I'm
The
addicted to brigadeiro.
Brigadeiro is really good. It's dangerous. If I have one, I can't stop. Usually, I have to
Yeah,
keep myself
the
restrained.
popular dessert.
Yeah. What do you think is your most hated food? What's something that you cannot eat no matter what?
Onion. I
Onion.
hate onion.
Yeah.
I hate onion. I hate broccoli. I don't know why. Two foods I hate. But when you cook the onion and the food, I don't care. But to see onion like salad or something like that, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a common one. A lot of people don't like onion. That's a good one. What do you think?
Broccoli and onion.
Broccoli and onion. What do you think was the scariest moment of your life?
Uh, I have a fight one time with. I'm gonna tell the story quick. I was walking to train at Hall's Academy. And I remember I bumping somebody. Uh, I was walking up the stair. I was in Copacabana. I have Hollis and Carson have a school together. It was on the, I don't remember the floor. I think it was at the floor, the fourth floor or something. And basically, when I bumped the guy on the hall, I start heard names. He called me names. I didn't know. I looked some around. I point the guy. You talk to me. The guy, yeah, I talk to you. When I come back close to him, he tried punch me, taking him down. I gave maybe two slap on his face, and people broke up. I went to training, and when I was going down, I said, "Well, let me go do a trail going behind this building to get a bus to go home." And somebody come behind me, put the gun on my head, two guys. And the guy said, "Let's shoot him right here." That was the guy I slapped on the face, and he was an undercover cop, and I didn't know who he was. The guy, "Let's shoot him right here. Let's nobody here." But I was lucky enough. Some car passed by and stopped. The guy was the commander of the car. The guys, they said, "What the hell are you guys doing here? What's going on?" And the guys tried to hide the gun. And the commander said, "I know what you guys try to do. This kid, I know him. He's one the from the academy. He's a sweet guy. What the hell are you guys doing?" And then that fired the guy. But the guy even said, "You want to kick his ass?" I said, "Man, I want to go home." It got so scary. Somebody put the gun on my head. I was like 15 years old, you know. And there was a scary moment who I got traumatized growing up. I was very careful and I better not go this way.
Yeah.
I get a little bit more wise to be not walking the dark alleys in Rio de Janeiro.
It's good that you learned that young and not later, man. And it's also really good that that commander came
But
later.
that was a
Jeez,
scary. Somebody put the gun in your head and tried to kill you. It's very scary.
that's terrible. Yeah, man, I'm really happy that turned out okay. Rigan, who do you think's your favorite grappler of all time?
Uh, I love Roger Gracie. I think Roger Gracie is one of the best grapplers I've seen because I remember Roger Gracie. He spent some time with me in Redondo Beach. Yeah, I remember him in Brazil. I'm very close to Roger's mother, Hayla Grace. Hayla Grace is one of my best. Growing up, my cousin. Growing up together, we always call each other every week. And Roger is the nicest ambassador I know in the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Not just Roger, but Rickson is another one I love the most. I grew up for him. I have opportunity to fight against him one time. But Rickson was one of the guys I admire. Horse Grace was phenomenal. Guys like Helium Grace, people don't know much. Helium Grace for me was who I learned a lot from him. He have one of the best guard in the world I ever seen. I still think he's in the bottle is one of the best ever. I never seen barely people pass his guard. I remember one time Rickson took like 30 minutes to try pass his guard. His was a lightweight, and Rickson was a light heavy. Helium Gracie was one I grew up. I love Jean-Jacques, my brother, is phenomenal. What I love about Jean-Jacques, I learned so much about him. Jean-Jacques' ability is from another world. I remember you teaching him techniques one time, he started doing the techniques right away. I never see, when you have this kind of ability, he's fantastic. He not only to learn, but almost to apply right away. And Jean-Jacques was a fantastic, phenomenal competitor. His fights was always entertainment to watch. Who else I like? I like the new generation. I love Buchecha. I think Buchecha was a guy I love to watch. I love the new guy, Greg Jones.
Craig
Greg
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
And the other guy, the big guy, I love the students from John Donahue. John Donahue, I think, is a very good coach. The result he have from his students is fantastic. I'm a big fan of his students. But you have new kids on the block who I saw this guy fighting Mika Galvão,
Yeah.
this kid.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. The kid was very calm and he played for the other guy like the other guy didn't know jiu-jitsu. I was look like I'm impressed. His kid caught my attention because once a while you see some competitors come alive like this. And for me, I was really impressed. I said, man, this kid is good. He's so sweet, so young, and I think he have a big future ahead to come, still prove. But I have another one too. These two brothers. One have a big hair. What's his name?
The Rotolo brothers. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw them. I think the one, the big hair. I'm a big fan of him because you watch. He's aggressive. I never seen a kid so aggressive in jiu-jitsu like that kid. They come like they want to take your head off, but he and his brother deliver it.
Yeah.
They come and they jump like crazy. Even like what this kid's doing, but when you see he's submitting, like
Yeah.
I start thinking like, man, it's too fast for my eyes.
Yeah.
And the kids is I really like that two brothers a lot.
Yeah. Caden
I have a
Tyre, unbelievable. Yeah.
yeah. I think this kid is very the aggressive. His jiu-jitsu is fantastic. I think he's the most aggressive jiu-jitsu on the business. I think he's every fight he go, he's one-on-one speed, 100%. That's amazing to see that.
It is. Yeah. No, man, great choices. Great choices. Those are definitely some of my favorites as well. Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero is Batman.
Batman. Nice. Good
I
choice.
have a train opportunity to train them.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah.
I train Robert Pattinson.
Oh, that's so cool. How is that? How was it?
It was funny story. He came to the academy first class. I have a friend of mine who called and say, "Hey, I want to send you a new student." He didn't. He's he. I think he's gonna be the next Batman. I didn't know who the actor. Based like show up this truck, like the worst truck, beat up, like prop cost like a car cost less than $500. Stop right in front of the academy. When the car stopped, I look like, what the hell? Who's this car? This car looked like all holes in the car, like old, beat up. Like when they come out, I look the car, I say, "Hey man, I think you parked in the wrong spot." When they come out, the truck was Rob Patterson, and I look at Rob Patterson. Rob Patterson, you might ask about this car. Say, "Hey, when I leave home, nobody follow me." And I start laughing because it's true. Like, who is gonna follow the beat up truck? You know, and that was so funny. He
That's
come to
brilliant.
training and he drive the worst piece of shit car I ever seen in my life. For people don't follow him, that was amazing.
No paparazzi. That's definitely a Batman tactic. That's good. That's good. If you could pick a superpower, what superpower would you want to have?
Superpower, Aquaman to swim under the ocean. That'd be cool.
Hegan, final question for the Pummel game. If a zombie apocalypse happens right now in Beverly Hills, what's the first thing you do?
Um, man, I get some baseball. I get some put some 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 armor around my body. I don't know, beat the shit out of the zombies everywhere. Like
That's
do
excellent.
something. It's gonna be like, man, you can eat me, but you're gonna have to go bring lunch because it's gonna take the whole day to. They're gonna kill at least 10 you guys.
That's excellent. Great answer. And Hegan, that was the final question for the Pummel game. Congratulations, you win. You got your double underhooks. So Hegan, we often hear the term old school jiu-jitsu when discussing different styles within the art. As one of the OGs in the sport, if a new student asks you what old school jiu-jitsu is, how would you describe it?
The jiu-jitsu is an evolution. I give you an example. When I used to training on the beginning, people never stand up to pass the guard. People pass low. And today, you pass low against somebody real good in arm bars and triangle, you're gonna be caught. And the answer is to stand up to stay away from the attacks. And today, after a while, people start doing spider guard. At the time I started doing jiu-jitsu, nobody knew spider guard. Spider guard come along with time. I think the jiu-jitsu is a snowball of knowledge. Who you see new champions, the new generation is going to show you what's fresh, what's new, and as a job to as an instructor and a student for life is to learning, adapt, and start teach your student what's new too. You never forget the old because the old is something part of the structure of your jiu-jitsu. I think the to have the old, the new is very important. Yeah, I feel lucky because I can go back in time and talking about the beginning in the story in the history of knowledge in Brazil in the jiu-jitsu and I able to talking about what's new in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The only thing is sometimes take time for me to learn is the names. People come out some names like we say what? What you say? How you call this position? Oh, that's the matrix
Yeah.
combined with the De La Riva and the 50-50. I said, wait a minute, show me because the name I don't know what you're talking about. But it's fun. I think the new generation. I think the pioneer of these weird names in grappling was Ed Bravo. I remember one time he talking about, oh, let me show you the electrical chair. I said, what the hell are you talking about, electrical chair? And it's kind of funny, but people, the new generation, love these nicknames. I think as a coach and to educate myself, I need to learn the names too, because I know I learned the techniques, one thing, but when you communicate with the new generation, you say, hey, let me show you this technique. They don't know, oh, you're talking about the matrix. You're talking about the warm guard. You're talking about you have you have to educate yourself to talk to the student.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love it.
That is cool. That is cool. It also shows that there's a lot of things that we consider to be very modern jujitsu techniques that have been around for a long
It's
time. They just didn't have a name.
evolution,
Yeah.
learning, enjoy the process.
Yeah. Yeah. They often say that things that are old will eventually become new again. Do you feel in the current competition scene that there's some old school things that you're seeing coming back to the forefront again?
I'm gonna tell you something Horace Grace told me. I remember one time the guy came to the academy show techniques to Horace Grace. And Horace Grace, okay, I like what you show, but when you compete, that work. And the guy, no, I don't like it. Whatever you show me, you go in the competition and work, I like it. They come to a point, show me. Go over there to meet somebody for this position. I'm gonna start doing myself.
I love that you're very open minded. I've noticed that that's a
You
common
have to.
thing. Yeah, that's a common thing I've noticed with you and your brothers. You guys all seem to be very open to
It's very
whatever works.
important. I never know enough, and I leave my ego at the door. That means I'm open to learning more and more, and to be with better knowledge, to learn how to teach better, to learning from the new generation, to see things like I can add on my knowledge. I think it's very important is to keep yourself upgrade. You know what I mean? Like a new cell phone.
That's great.
I don't
Oh,
want to be the BlackBerry, the one you open like this and have to
yeah,
type the little numbers. No, I wanted the new iPhone, the 15 Plus or something. To
unlock it with your face and everything. Yeah, exactly.
you talk to your phone, they do everything. Yeah.
Over the years, what have been the most reliable positions and techniques that you still use in your own training? Has your game changed a lot
No,
since you were a young
I
guy?
can be very good in control. It's like I explained to you. Uh, Growing up, I have amazing coaches. I have Hoss Gracie, I have Helium Grace, Crawling Grace, Carlos Grace Jr. I have so many guys like Márcio Stambovs, Mauricio Gomes, who is the father of Horace Gracie. And I have so many great competitors. I train for Castro, I train for all this guy. But one guy who changed my game, who was better for me, was Rickson. I have opportunity to train for Hicks for almost 5 years. He used to teach privates for me and my brother. He used to go to Hickson early morning, twice a week to training, see what's new and stuff like that. Hickson show us. But one the thing Hickson, what I love, what I adopt from Hickson game for me, everything I do is very tight. I'm not the type of guy who move too much. I fight for every inch. By learning how to fight like that, everything I do is fighting for inches. They help me to create like this super tight game, who neutralize a lot of the people who have games very mobile. My game's the worst game you're gonna get because I fight for inches. But the sad part is not many people today who follow this kind of game because it's almost like we come old method game, which is kind of sad because this is very efficient. I still use the same game I used before and still working 100% for me for Hickson and stuff like that. And basically, like, um, it's kind of, I think you have to be good in two games. The one you're very open, move around, but you have to be very strong to tie your game, to be very tight, to neutralize your opponent, to move as much. And for me, I'm very good in that. Very good in tight. That's my specialty. That's what I do. That's why when I get to a position like side control, that's what I like to capitalize well because I hold the guy well on the ground. From there, inch by inch, I try get or the choke or the mount or the back or the arm or something like that. And that's basically what I still using super well. You know what I mean? Just to fight very tight.
For people that have that same way of practicing their jujitsu, for people that want to have that same kind of game, what are some of the fine key points that you like to teach people to basically win every inch and not go backwards?
I think to understand the control of the body, control the shoulders, control the middle of the body, control north-south, control the X position, control in a position in balance. Balance like I'm on top, I never go to the bottom. I never sacrifice the top position to pull for the guard or to do something like that. I'm on the top, I will stay on the top. In base, like when I mount, I want to stay on the mount. I stay on the side control, I stay on the side control. From there, I switch to go to submissions and stuff like that. In base, that's what I'm is the things I'm looking for. You know what I mean? To have a chance to when they training, even the coaching, everything. I like to teach what I'm very good. I'm very good in this kind of game, the tight game. Even sometimes I get somebody who have the too much outside my knowledge, my game. I say to my brother Jean-Jacques, because Jean-Jacques, he's complete opposite. He teach so much mobility, so much combination, so much things like that, which I think for some people who smaller, too small, sometimes I think is good answer to training for my brother.
That's awesome. For people who are tight topside players like you, what do you think are the most safe submissions to practice from say mount? Like what are submissions that give you very
I do
little
something
risk?
very unique. I do something called Higan Twister.
Okay.
The Higan Twister, I start play around and I'm got so good. The reason because I torture the guy on the border, I twist his arm, I twist his body. And I think like, okay, you're training for Rigan Machado, you get me on the mat. Let's give a taste what Rigan Twister look like. And that's what come my favorite thing to do to torture people on the bottom. You know what I mean? That's my trademark.
That's awesome. Well, guys, if you're wanting to learn this style from Hegan, he has an awesome instructional with us called Old School Machado Jiu-Jitsu. It's available right now at bjjfanatics.com. So if this old school grinding inch by inch, heavy topside style game is something you're looking to develop, this is a great place to start. So check it out. Hegan, in closing, what are some of your major goals for 2024? What are some things you hope to accomplish this year?
I think I'm gonna open. I have now two new business partners. I finally found the right guys I want to work with, and these two guys is fantastic. I'm not gonna mention the name, but two guys specialize in the right business. One is one the best I know in market, and the other one the best I know in management. And my team, I want to create all the teaching, all the experience I have in teaching and stuff. And we're gonna come out with 10 new schools. We're gonna open schools spread to United States in different areas, and we're gonna try out these 10 schools. We basically we have a goal and a target to get. From there, we want to open 50 more. When you open 50 more, when we structure the academy, how fast we can structure the business, we're gonna start create the license. First, it's gonna be a license we wanna create, and the license for other countries to work with us, like Brazil, Europe, Australia, Japan, all these other countries. We're gonna create that, and the later we come success with the license, everything, we're gonna come out with a perfect franchise business. But the franchise is gonna be the last thing you're gonna do it. But that's for next. Actually, this year we're talking about to start doing that. But the other thing I'm working restructure is my association. My association, I have a person working for me right now who's doing a phenomenal job. But I'm gonna create outside the one I have another one. I'm gonna try out to build bigger. And basically, I want to create a better Carlos Machado have a very success association. And basically, like I hired some of his guys to work in this new idea I have for upgrade for some new guys to come, not the old guys. The old guys is I keep the way it is because some guys been for me for 15 years. I don't want to change. But the new generation gonna have in this new association, I want to upgrade. I want to put a lot of effort to work with them in different levels. And basically, for me, first is to put the right team to able to work together in this new business. Because association is something nice. Because I love to travel, I love to do seminars, and to have a association everywhere in different countries, give opportunity to travel, to see, work with some the guys who build in schools, almost like guide them on the ideas you have for them to do the same. And that's what I want to create, you know what I mean? Because the association I have right now is great. I love my guys. The guys been for me for 20 years. I want to keep the way it is because almost like you create this friendship. Yeah, but for the new association I want to do, I want to try something new with the new generation. Yeah, I want to see what's going on.
Well, folks, unfortunately, we're fresh out of time. Higan, it is always a pleasure getting to talk to you. It's great to have you back so many years later on the show, and you're always welcome back whenever you want to come back in the future.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course. For anyone out there that wants to keep up with Higan, it's very easy to do so. He has a Facebook page, but he's most active on Instagram. It's just Rigan Machado on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow the profile that has the blue check mark to follow the right profile. Also, guys, if you're ever traveling through Beverly Hills, California, he's got one of a world-renowned academy there, so make sure you drop in. If you can't visit him in Beverly Hills, you can learn from him anywhere in the world here at BJJFanatics.com. We discussed his instructional that he has with us, Old School Machado Jiu-Jitsu, which is available right now at BJJFanatics.com. So go pick it up if you don't have that in your library yet. And that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning in. Please stay tuned for the next episode of the BJJ Fanatics podcast.